Hello and welcome to Train World Sim 6. Here we are with Devon Delights as we drive the 150 at 10:25 in the morning. There's been a little bit of a problem. There's been a bit of a backup on the line. And what's tend to happen is there's a lot of trains ahead of us and behind us due to a broken down train earlier. And now we are trying to pick up the pace and get ourselves to Exeter St Davis as soon as we can. We're going to start our adventure right here though. We're going to open those doors and we're driving the 150 here and we're starting our journey from Tynemouth. And you saw this last time in the nighttime shots, and as you can see it's a very lovely station. Just outside of it though you've got a main road, cars going past at high speed, but this is a good view actually. This is a really good view, but look how close we are to the sea. You know, look at that view. It's beautiful, isn't it? It really is lovely. And it makes me want to go and explore because I can see this lovely bridge over here in the background, and I really want to see if I can get to it. And I'm not sure if we can, but on this game I've noticed you can get quite far out of the map and see things that you shouldn't really be seeing. But if I just show you over here, look at this. All these boats. There's the road bridge. And you can actually go across the road bridge and go over here into no man's land, and our train is somewhere over there now. So it's a remarkable game. It really is. And I like the fact that you can go a little bit off piste and do stuff that you wouldn't normally do. But anyway, we're off in our 150. We're off to Dawlish. We've got a green light to go ahead of us, which is good. There will be some hold-ups along the way. We are technically about 3 trains ahead of most of the traffic, so we shouldn't get too many hold-ups on this route. But there is quite a lot going on at Exeter that we might have to wait for, and there's a few things that we might have to be careful on the route. But we should get quite a good run. We should do. So we're just leaving Tynemouth. We're just coming out into the nice sea area, which I'm going to show you very, very soon. There it is, just coming out. Look at that. Beautiful. Stunning. And the tide seems quite tame today, which is a bit of a blessing in disguise. So we're off our way to Dawlish. Our stops on this is Dawlish Warren, Starcross, Marsh Barton, Exeter Davis, Thomas, and Davids. So we're stopping at virtually every stop along the route. But there are a couple of trains behind us that are going to get held up by us, and there's going to be trains in front of us that are doing their stuff as well. So we are going to struggle. This is not going to be an easy journey as such. And I will quickly show you on the map of what's going on ahead of us. I don't think there's going to be too much going on ahead, but there will be some mild traffic. We've got this train here moving, and we've got. I think we might have one more ahead of us. I think. Where would it be? I think it's up here by Exeter St Thomas. I think. Yeah, there we go. Look, and there's one that's there at Exeter. Is that Exeter St Thomas? Just arriving. So we've got a couple ahead of us, but we've got this train that might be blocking our path, and I do believe there might be some others on its way forward as well. So we've got quite a few things to be worried about in this. So it's going to be quite a job done. I'm going to put some headlights on so you can see the tunnel. There you go. How nice is that? I think they've done some good work on the tunnel. It's a good tunnel. But I am driving out of it. But I like this bit here. This is one of my favourite bits, this bit. It's like proper nice. You come out into the open, get a little glimpse of what's to come around the corner, and then you come through another tunnel. And you get a few tunnels on it, then you've got this lovely little rock out here, look. Nice. Some good stuff going on. There's that rock. It's quite nice, isn't it? The only thing I would say about this, which I'm going to say is a little bit of a capital, and which I'm not too keen on, and I will say is that the waves don't seem to be good enough. It needs a bit more of a crashing effect. I feel like there's not enough in it. And I think that's something that they've lacked on making, is they should have done it, you know. But you can't have everything. I mean, this is Train Sim World after all. Just coming into Dawlish now, so let's reduce our speed. I'm not sure if we're going to get this perfect, but we're going to give it a good go. No, I think we'll be alright. There we go. Get those doors open.
Service to Exeter St David's. Calling at Dawlish
That's us.
Warren, Starcross,
Yep, there we go.
Marchbar, Exeter St Thomas,
Yep.
and Exeter
Yep.
St David's.
There you go. A lot of people getting off this train. It does worry me that there's not going to be that many people left on it. Although there's still quite a few. Not that bad. I feel like because it's daytime, I feel like we can get away with turning the lights on. They can still see what's going on. It's quite bright today, isn't it? Lovely view across there. Beautiful view. But onwards and upwards, we must get out of here. I think I might close those doors just a little bit too early. I hate that when that happens, because you want to lock it but you can't. It annoys the hell out of me, that does. I'm a little bit eager sometimes. Right, we're off. And there we go. We're off to Dawlish Warren, which is just around that bend. Not that far at all. But look how stunning that is. Just look how stunning that is. The detail is impeccable, isn't it? It really is impeccable. They've done a grand job with this route, I tell you. Probably is one of my favourite routes. And people always say to me, what are your 3 favourite routes? And I would say it'd be the ones that I keep going back to. There are a lot of routes that I keep going back and to a lot, you know, back and forth. I suppose one of my favourites, I mean, I don't really have a specific order, but one of my favourites is probably the London commuter, London to Brighton. I know it's a bit old now, but it's such a great route. Like, there's so much to do on it, so much traffic, so much going on. I don't know, there's always something to do on the route, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I really love that route. That's probably one of my favourites. And also like the one that was released with Train Sim World 5, which is the West Coast Main Line, from Euston to Milton Keynes. I also really like that route, and I think it's the most played route that I've played on the whole system. I really am a big fan of that one. I don't know why, but I don't know, there's just, yet again, there's a lot to do, there's a lot to see, you know. Yeah, but there are ones that I really do think are really bad routes that I really don't like. And I'll tell you which one I wasn't very keen on was the West Coast Main Line, Preston to Carlisle. And the reason why, it's that whole thing of long journeys again, with no stations. I have a pet hate for things like long routes with very small amounts of stations. I like a lot of stop in the starting. That's my kind of thing. I find when you're on the routes where you haven't got that, you're forever just sitting there waiting for the next station. It does get a little bit tedious. Anyway, we are coming into Dawlish Warren. There's the wonderful fun fair just in the back foreground there. There it is, the nice fun fair which I showed you in the last video. In the fun fair is. I've never been to Dawlish Warren, so if you've been there, comment and let me know what it's really like. Tell me if it is as good as it sounds or looks on this game, because it's really something. There you go. Wonderful stuff, right. And we're at Dawlish Warren, so I just want to see what this is over here, because there's like a big fence. I just want to see, oh, there's not much over here. Oh, it's just like a car park, I think, for the fun fair. Yeah, you come in. there's the fun fair. And then if you come down here, I haven't explored down here yet. Look at this. You've got like some sort of chalet holiday village kind of thing. That's quite nice. Some big beach huts. And then over here, see, it's a nice little area, isn't it? Dawlish Warren. I like it. And then over here, standard housing estate stuff, really. Like, yeah, it's a strange little place, Dawlish Warren. It's unique, I would say that. We're off to our next station. Believe it or not, we are off to, I believe, Starcross next. There we go, yes, right.
Exeter St David's.
I don't like steam trains. I've got a bad thing about operating steam trains on Train Sim World. I'm not a fan of steam trains. I think a lot of people are in the same boat. I think a lot of people like them and don't like them. I think it's a bit of a hit and miss thing. I'm not really keen on that on Train Sim World. Glad they don't make too many of them now, which is, I don't think they make any, do they? Which I'm relieved at, because it's just, I find it such a pointless exercise, you know. There's a lot of routes I do like. There's a lot of routes I don't really like. I'm not really keen on what was that route that I bought that I didn't. Oh, there was I think I don't really like the Cornwall route. I think that's pretty dated now, and it's a bit, yeah. I don't really like the Manchester Victoria routes. I think there's two of them that go. They're quite. I don't like the ones that are set in the past, if I'm actually honest with you. I like modern day stuff because I feel that the trains work better. There's more passengers. And a lot of the time there's a lot more activity, and I think the more lines you've got linking in with things, the more stuff you've got going on, and the more layers you can effectively put on this. So yeah, I think that's my kind of stance on it, really. I like things my way, kind of thing. I suppose really there's a lot of routes that I don't play a lot now. I don't play the Bakerloo line anymore. I used to, I don't anymore. I think the reason why I don't play the Bakerloo line anymore is because it just feels very clunky. It's not a very playful route. There's a lot wrong with that route, I think. That could be a lot better. But I do wish they would do a new underground route, and I think the underground route I would like to see would be something like the District line, or I would like to see the Circle line, maybe. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's in tunnels, it's a bit boring, you don't get to see much." It's true, you don't. But I feel like we got the rough end of the deal. We got the slowest underground line when they released it. Like, if you look at the speeds of the London Underground, we got the Bakerloo line, which is one of the slowest lines there is. You know, when you've got something like the Central, which the speeds are a lot higher, it could be more fun. You know, we get the most slowest and boringest kind of underground route they could possibly find when they released it. I don't know why they picked the Bakerloo line. Maybe it's because it's one of the shortest as well. Who knows? I suppose really there isn't a lot of outside stuff, so you've got it all inside. So I suppose that's what they're looking at. But you know, you could have had something. You could have had something else. I know that you could have probably got away with other routes, which would have probably been easier. But I suppose in those days, if that was built now, they could get away with doing the Circle line, and at the same point, still make sure that there's something for everyone. If you see what I mean. And they could have incorporated more layers, and you could have had a lot of more AI trains. I think in the day it was built, I think the problem there was that there wasn't enough technology there to sort of incorporate everything. So I think that's the issue I think that we have. But I think now if they did one, I think it'll be 10 times, if not 20 times better than currently what we have. So that's another route which I think is a little bit dated now. So that could do with some sort of overhaul, I think, eventually. But they are going to be doing an overhaul of the Great Western original route from Paddington to Reading, which they are remastering, which is I think, going to be amazing. I think that will be a real good, solid thing to do, because that is dated, and it could do with a lot more layers. I mean, we could have the 150 on there. We could have the 800s on there. It would look quite nice. It would flow a bit better, and things would be a little bit swifter. And you could, if they really wanted to, they could even extend a little bit out to the Heathrow area. They could do that. I mean, there is potential that they could do that, but I don't think they will, because I think, as far as I know, it's a free remaster upgrade, and I think if they were to add anything on, I think they'd probably want to get charging. They won't do nothing. They won't do anything for nothing. So the problem is, whatever happens, they're not going to do something without getting more money from us. We've got a train passing us. We're going to look at this. Here it comes. We've got one of the 800s coming past. There we go. I think it's an 801, 802. There it goes, sliding past on a nice fast journey down to Plymouth. I think that's the first train that we've seen go past us, actually. So that is interesting. We're going to hit 100. Oh, but look what's happening. Look up in the top right-hand corner. We got a restriction. Oh, wonderful. How nice of them to put a restriction in place for us. Isn't that nice? Especially when we're about to hit the 100 mark. We can't even get our speed to go without them putting something in the way and saying, do you know what? We're not going to let you go fast. We're going to slow you down. Very nice. There's the lovely Riviera, which is commonly referred to as the Devon Peninsula. It looks lovely, doesn't it? It looks really nice. Now, we are doing quite well at the moment. We are going a bit more inland now, but we have got a 40 coming up, so I'm going to have to reduce myself because I don't want to get caught in the 40. Oh, there's another train coming past us. Another 150 going to Paynton. So there's not many hold-ups. There's the 40, just saw it in my window. It's only a brief section. And this is what I don't get with this temporary restriction thing. I love the idea, I really do, but what's the point of having that very small, tiny restriction? What does it, I would like it to be a little bit longer, or I'd like there to be more, maybe, I know that you get red lights and engine failures and stuff, but I'd like it to be a bit more, like you get more broken down trains on the line and you end up passing that broken down train and stuff like that. I suppose really, with every train sim world, they are in fact improving things. So we are getting better by the minute when we have these. So there are a lot of new things that they are introducing and making it to be a bit more realistic. So by the time we get to number 7, in theory, we should have something really good on the line, Now, I'm not quite sure how it's going ahead of us, but I know going back to where we've just come from, which is down here, we might have a little bit of a, I don't know if we've got a bit of a hold up, because I know we had a lot of traffic. I'm not quite sure if we've got anything. Oh yeah, look, we've got one behind us at Timoth, just arrived. So yeah, we've got a bit of the backlog still behind us, still trying to catch up, still trying to make its way forward. But we've done all right. We haven't had any real issues with this, I don't think. It's been a quite nice route. We've had a few warning signals, but we've not had many reds. But I think we're not doing too sad, really. The 150 is so much improved since the Cornwall route. I don't know what they were thinking when they done the Cornwall route. It's got to be such a bad route. There's just not enough traffic on it. There's not enough going on. Everything's down to sort of like 2 lines, and you can't get a lot of traffic past it. And I don't know. There's a lot wrong with that route. And you've only got the 150 on it as well. which is a bit of a problem, I think. I don't know why they thought that the 150 was going to be suitable enough for that route. There should have been some fast trains. They should have done a layering of maybe the 43, the HST 43 from the GWR, which subsequently does run down that part of the line. They could have done that, but they decided not to. Which I always feel like, by which point now it's too late. I still wish they'd put the 700 on the London commuter like it should be. That would have been brilliant. But saying that, there's one of the trains that runs from London Bridge to Uckfield is getting made by an independent maker of the game, and everyone's guessing now what route it's going to sit on, because no one knows what route it's actually going to sit on. They're not sure. It's a bit of a mystery what route it's actually going to sit on, because there's no room for it. Can't go on the London commuter. Can't go on the. Well, it could possibly go on the Southeastern High Speed, but then again, there's a lot on that already. So unless we're going to get a new route from London Bridge to Uckfield, I wonder where that new train's going to sit. Could be interesting. Now we're on a red. Going into Marsh Barton. We're going to find out why that is, because I am curious to see what's ahead of us. There's nothing in Marsh Barton, but I don't think there's another signal. That's why. Look, we've got this train here that's going in. So we've got we've caught up with a train, but we have got the yellow light to go ahead. And we're going to go sliding into Marsh Barton, which is a new station. Hasn't been there too long, and there is a scenario on this where you can do the open day, which I think is really, really good. It's a really good idea. You get to see all the cameramen, all the town councillors, you get to take pictures and stuff. It's a good little scenario. I don't really like. I tell you what, I don't like about this new route: the Voyager. I'm not a fan of the Voyager. I think it's a very clunky, heavy train. It's not a nice one to steer. I don't think it's not a nice one to drive. I don't think. It feels like one of those trains that it's a bit cack. Not the best. But it's good that it's in the game, because it now can layer onto the new route, the Crewe to Birmingham route, which is good. So it all works well. But I do think they've overcooked it a bit with how much of the West Coast Main Line we now actually have, which I do feel like they really have overcooked that. I mean, how much more of that line do we actually need, realistically? It's almost like they're trying to complete it off. So what we can get next, Milton Keynes to Wolverhampton or something, or I don't know. It does seem very strange that they've paid a lot of attention to that, considering they haven't got the actual rights from the line that use that, like the Avanti West Coast. They haven't got the exact licensing. It seems weird why they keep doing that and keep releasing such things. But I need to find out what this building is as well. What is this building? It looks pretty new, and if you go round it, you've got like a little car park. Look, this is what it looks like from the front. This is Marsh Barton, but I need to find out what that is, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to place a picture now, directly on this video, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. You can see it there. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not even going to hazard to guess what it is, but it will be on the video. It will tell you on the video right now what it actually really is. All right, we're not going to guess too much. So when you do the scenario, you come back to this station after it's not long been opened, and what you'll find is that just here they'll have a load of camera crew, mayors and everything, and you'll be able to sort of take a snap with it. It's very good fun indeed. Right, so we're on our way now to Exeter St Thomas. We've got 2 more stations left as we come into Exeter, so not too far to go now. We have got a yellow signal, and we are likely to get a couple of hold-ups along the route now, because there might be something going on at Exeter. Who knows? Let's see what's going ahead of us, shall we? So we've got a clear Exeter St Thomas, but we have got this train in here, which is there. I don't think we've got anything coming in from this angle just yet, but we have got a train coming towards us. So I think we might get a little bit of a delay, but I don't think we're going to be too held up. I think we'll manage to get into Exeter without too many delays. We've done quite well on this route, but this route all really is just to showcase what it looks like at daytime, as opposed to the nighttime route that we did last time, where you couldn't see nothing. But you can see how lovely it looks. I really am loving this route. Even that smoke that's coming towards you, it just looks so real and so, they've spent a lot of time on this. They really have. And I suppose when you look at it, this is a year's work as opposed to anything else. So I suppose really, you expect it to be good if it's a year's work that they've put into it to release it in time for a September release. You expect it to be pretty good. We've got another 150 here that's just pulled into the station. With the 150. There's 2 150s meeting along this route for the first time on the station, and as you can see, they're loving life, aren't they? They really are. And that one is going to, I think, Paynton. Yes, that's probably doing quite a good route. It looks like that one's going to go before us, but it has been in before us. But we have got a red signal, so I'm not quite sure what that's about, but we'll find out when we get to Exeter, or nearer to Exeter, that we'll find out what's going on. Let's just shut these doors, and let's get moving to our last destination, which is just literally down the road. Now we might get a little bit stumped here, because I'm just a bit curious what's going on at Exeter St David's, what's going to cause our red line. So I'm a bit concerned that we might get held up here. I hope we don't, but after half an hour on the route, I'm a bit concerned why we've got a red light. There really can't be that much ahead of us, I'm thinking, but you never know. There might be. What we can do, we can get a call out to the signal man and see if he can. No, he doesn't want to know. So I'd wait for signal to change there. Right, okay, so he's not ready to change it for us yet. It's nice of him, isn't it? I've only got a train full of passengers that want to get going. Nearly do stop again then. Let's see what's going on ahead of us. Let's see what's going on. Right, so our route is taking us onto this platform. Oh, there's a train in there, look. So that's what we're waiting for, that to move. I hope that's going somewhere good. But I'm not sure where it's going. Oh, it's waiting for this one that's coming in. Probably from Taunton or Barnstable. So once that goes across the point system, I reckon that will get the all clear, and then we will. There it goes, got a green light, and that train is ready to depart, which is nice. And we're going to take a little shifty up there now and see what's going on, because we're only a little bit away, but we're just going to see what's going on. Up in Exeter, St David's. There we go, look. There we go, look. It's a 166 that is on its way to wherever it's going to. It doesn't say where it's going to, but it'll be Barnstaple. But just as one goes out, one comes in. There we go, we've got another one coming in. And I think we'll get a positive light in a second to go. We'll just sitting out here waiting. I just hope that that train that's just come in on that platform isn't going to... We're not going to be released until that comes through, maybe. So that could be a problem. See which way the wind's blowing. I know there's much to see around Exeter. But we've got a yellow light to go, so it looks like we're going to go in. We're going to go in. We've got the light to go, as it would be. And we'll make our way into Exeter St David's, our final stop. So we were very unfortunate that we were on a bit of a point situation where the train ahead of us was waiting for the other train to come in, which, you know, is all very good. I think that's quite fun. You know, it's nice to have him to wait. I don't know how the other trains are doing behind us, because obviously there's been a lot of hold-ups on this one today. So it's all very well, but what's going on? So we're just coming in now. Going a little bit fast, but we're okay. The reason why is because of the point junctions. You can easily derail on those. You can see how bumpy it was just going over that. And we are just going to stop here. Perfect stop, I would say.
For the 100 service to Exeter St David's. Calling at Exeter St David's only.
Well, we are stopping here, so this is our final stop. So we've managed to do it. We've managed to get to Exeter St David's, and it looks like we've had quite a successful journey. But it's just really kind of amazing how wonderful the scenery is on this, and how beautiful they've made this look. It really is such a beautiful route, and for all them people at first were saying, oh, it's not that great, you know, there's a lot of bugs. As you know, with any Dovetail Games release, there always is bugs at the start. It always is the same. It's always been the same. You never get a perfect release. But you know what? I now think that it's done. It wants me to change camps. Oh, right, okay. This would be interesting. Right, let's see what's going on. Oh, this could be very interesting. Right, let's power this down.
The next station is this isn't service to Exeter St David's.
So let's. This is interesting. I thought that was the end of the route. Clearly not. Right, so it wants me to change ends. The train is empty. I really hate going through the trains because there's just so much to do. Oh, here we go. Right. Now, where are we going on this? Oh, we're going back, are we? Oh, we're going back. We are actually going back, but we're going to Plymouth now. There we go. I didn't realise we were set up to go to Plymouth. We're not going to go to Plymouth on this game. We're not actually going to do that. We're going to stop there because that wasn't the intention to go to Plymouth. But that isn't what's going to happen. We are going to finish the video there because it is quite a lengthy journey to go back to Plymouth. But thanks for joining us, and keep liking, subscribing, sharing, and we hope you've enjoyed this daytime view of this wonderful route to, of course, the wonderful English Riviera. Goodbye.